based on when the generators run out of gas. So not really paying attention to the clock anymore. I mean, last night we worked until like 11, 12 o'clock, but in Alaska, that's about when it gets dark. So, well, as you can see, we got the bow up, and it's mostly, or at least a good portion, welded up there. Still missing a few spots where there's a good little gap or a bend or something, so we need to push and have backer bars and stuff, but for the most part it's up there and even sort of resembles a bow. So a little bit different than when it started, but not too much. Still blunt, but the blunt is mostly from, you know, below the water line. I don't know how much of an effect that's going to have, except when I'm battering ram into people. So some lessons learned. I wouldn't say measure 3 times and cut once, because it was so hard to measure, and the angle of the boat on the trailer affected so much of it, and if it's leaning to one side or another. And even levels, I tried to put levels to see, all right, do I need to bring it up? Do I need to bring it down? But they would change so much depending on where I moved them. Just the entire boat is not particularly level or evenly made, so that made it a little bit difficult. But definitely before putting the bow on, it was nice that we put a couple of holder bars on there, just a couple of things that it could slide into and kind of rest itself, so that we didn't have to hold it up and measure it and stuff. And then also just trying to cut as flat a lines as possible. So right before putting the last piece up, the bow piece up, just went across and did a scribe with a flat bar and just tried to make it as flat as possible, so that when the bow hit, it was touching as many places as possible, and it wasn't like bloop, 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 undulating all over the place. Otherwise, I also learned, I hope that my welds survive water and waves and tenders and beatings. Hope we don't sink.